Doesn't that look nice? See there? Look at that. I think it looks really good. I've done these 3 this morning and they're still drying, but they're hardening up. This is getting nice and hard. Doesn't take very long, and like I say, you cannot just touch these up later on. And that's what this little video segment's about. If you had a concrete step and you had some gouges on a concrete step like up in here, can you just use this rapid set cement all and patch your step? Not really. I would not advise it. This stuff you have to coat the entire step. Okay, coat it at 1/8 to 3/16 thick. And here's the other thing. If I only had 1 or 2 steps to work on, if I used that material and the other steps were used out of a different bag of material, not rapid set, maybe something else, would I want to use the rapid set? Probably not, because every single concrete patch material, when it dries, it's not necessarily going to be the same color as the rest of your steps or the rest of your existing concrete areas or whatever. And so that was the other reason on these riser sections. All those riser sections were fine. Now see this bottom one? That was okay before. This is just little remnants of that concrete that I just put on here. But you see this top one? See that top one? That was with some other material, and it was sticking fine. It wasn't cracking out like on top of the rest of the stairs. That material is the same as this material. But as I put it on there, and after it dried and after the winter, it all cracked up. The edges cracked and came off. But on these riser sections, they all looked really good, but I couldn't leave it. I can't just leave that with this rapid set concrete material, because see, this rapid set concrete is dry. Is it the same color as that? No. So concrete materials dry differently than others. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This stuff, you cannot just use it as a thin veneer to float over little thin areas and try to blend it in with the rest. It's just not going to work. Okay, because it has sand in it. So that's why on these 3 steps, when I get ready for them, I'm not going to do them today, I'm going to do it another day. When I get ready to do this, I can't just float over little imperfections like in here and along here and just a couple lines here and there. I can't do it. The reason for that is very simple. It's got sand in it, and for me to redo this, I'm going to have to coat it and put another 1/8 inch to 3/16 thick on those 3 steps. Even though I have those 3 steps done, I could leave them just like that over the winter and leave them. And you can do that too if you want. You know, they don't all have to be perfect. They're outside. It's up to you, but I think I can do that better. So when I get ready, you know, to float these, I'll probably, I might work on these first, you know, tomorrow, let's say, work on these and then see how far I get. Chances are I'm not going to be able to get it all done in one day anyways. So maybe I'll do these 3 steps first tomorrow, 3 or 4 steps, and then see how well I can get it nice and smooth and stuff. And I think I can do a better job than when I first did those. And then I'll come to an understanding and see how much material I have left before I decide to tackle those. Because if I do these top 3 steps, I'm going to have to put 1/8 to 3/16 more on there to make them smooth. Okay? And I'll probably do that. That's how I like to do things. I like to, you know, when I do something, I try to do it to the best of my ability. And those top 3 steps weren't to the best of my ability. Okay? So I still got a little bit more to do. I'm going to do this bottom section down there, and I'm going to do that top edge. And then I'll decide how my back's doing. All this wrenching and twisting and all that kind of stuff before I tackle these, because let me tell you, it takes a little bit of effort to mix some in here. And see, you don't want to get it too soupy when you put it down, and you don't want to get it too thick. If you get it too thick, you got to press and press and press. Your fingers start getting sore and stuff. And initially I was putting it on with my 6-inch knife, and it's going to be a little bit of a trial and error when I get ready to put these on. I may put the first bits on with the 3-inch and get it as best I can in one section, and then go over it with the 6-inch or something and see how I do. But that's going to be a work in progress too. Okay, it's all doable though. Hey, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And that's how you do a project like this. You do it in little mini projects, M-I-N-I. Just did the sides right there. I'm going to do the bottom one, and I'm going to do that top one, and that's all I'm going to do today. I don't have to fret about it. But I looked at the weather. The weather's still going to be good for another week or so, and I can be on here tomorrow and work on it some more. Yeah, I didn't want to cut these bags all up because I still want to use them later on. So I'll just do from there to about there, and then get it all good, and then I'll slide this over. Easy peasy. Oh yeah. See there? I did it. I did it. Got that. This one was kind of tricky right there. I did it. I had to do it with a little 1.5-inch putty knife and finagle it up there, back and forth in a way I wanted. Little by little by little by little by little. Got her all done, and that's pretty much all I'm going to do today. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back. Hey, it's kind of cloudy, or I'm in the shade, but I'll be back